Am I done clicking on things which may have caused confusing noises to come from the background? Perhaps so. But there are no promises as to anything that may or may not occur within the next few minutes, seconds, or hours. And I think by saying those things, I pretty much managed to cover the entire scope that I should potentially be concerned with. Or perhaps concern might be a bit of an exaggeration, but hey, whatever. I could wait a few more moments for this to play yet another much harder world, so I guess I will. Because it actually managed to jump ahead from the complete and filtered song list that I have here. So apparently the shuffle was left turned on for iTunes when I turned this thing on, even though I thought that I had left it off before, so it just like turned itself back on. But hey, it managed to, the one time that it activated, managed to land itself in a not completely terrible position, so I'll just let it continue on with that. Just as I should possibly allow myself to continue with the completely terrible means that I have of going about things. Hey, the beginning of certain windows on the new version of Vivaldi, which apparently just finished updating today because, well, I told it to update because apparently all of a sudden ad nauseam made YouTube stop working entirely, which is interesting. But also, hello bird. Let me see. Okay, I was wondering if the first thing that played there was going to be recognizable, but apparently the answer is no. But yeah, hello Burn and whosoever else may be liable to receive this message as I open up a new session of streaming stuff, which would ostensibly, hopefully end with me finally being able to... How many adverbs in a row was that? Jesus, well. But yeah, with any luck, should be able to end with me finally getting to the end of this very last part of Xenoblade 2 that I'm doing. But before we get to that, we got to do the obligatory stuff that I have to do every day that I stream these days, except when I don't, because like yesterday I just end up passing out completely for practically the entire day and not being able to stream as a direct result of that. Or probably not terribly justifiable reasons, but reasons that take effect nonetheless. But what I could do before that, and what I will do before that, is take a gander over to VGM Quiz, which is already active over here. And I guess hang out in this room for a little while until the daily quiz comes on. That we can carry on with that sort of typical procedure that we got. Oh yeah, also made a few changes, which I could even potentially put into effect right now if I do this properly. So I kind of have ostensibly a preliminary one, but a mode of... yeah, maybe not right now. I think I'll save it for a bit of a... to be a bit of a surprise, even though it's not really gonna change anything. But I guess I ostensibly have a different view for 16:9 games that isn't just seriously now. And hey, Agatha, welcome in and thank you for that resub. That is very generous of you. I'm just over here half mobbing that I somehow managed to not get... Or it's... Well, I'm just saying it to myself, it managed to register or not register me as getting this Circle of the Moon answer first, even though I typed at a decent speed. Well, I don't know. That would be pretty much the first track that's played in this little set so far that I actually would recognize. And I kind of expect it to remain as such. But yeah, welcome in. But the other thing that I'm pretty sure I just completely interrupted myself from saying multiple times just now is that I ostensibly have a 16:9 view for games now that isn't just throwing the entire game up on a full screen thing, which is what I've been doing so far, and it's probably terrible because I only spent a very small amount of time on it. I don't really see myself as competent enough to figure out a better way. That's how you do that, I guess. The optimized method. Not that I ever would have recognized the track from whatever this game is, but... Wonder you submitting Circle of the Moon? Well, if I managed to like get enough Castlevania games in without Circle of the Moon being submitted by somebody else, which I thought someone wanted to do, then certainly I will do it, but it'll take until that happens for it to actually take priority, which, do not get me wrong, it would definitely take priority over a lot of other potential prospects, but something that I've kind of thought of doing is when I... like Uno Ace 3, I don't know. Apparently neither of those things. It was apparently Lufia 1. Which is a game that exists, I suppose. I don't remember if I've ever even touched a Lufia game. To be honest, I hate starting. Didn't realize that 3 whole minutes had passed while I was doing this, but yeah. Something that I might end up doing is... I'm pretty sure that I'm definitely going to be submitting a Valkyrie profile after I'm done with Henry Hatsworth. After people actually decide to... Well, I mean, I've got a deal, a voting trade going on right now, but... it could certainly help speed that along, but once I do get to 500, I'm actually run like a poll like Robin did to figure out which Castlevania to submit first. I'm still not entirely convinced that Portrait of Ruin would get the most votes out of everyone.
Who is the last remaining survivor of the Gumon race in Orient the Blind Forest?
I have no idea, I've never played any of those games. Gumo, okay. That's a total guess. But I guess total guess is pay. Well, I also managed to go through, just kind of eyeball a bunch of the chase spreadsheet that I made earlier today.
What are the name of the characters famously known as the Ice Climbers?
Okay, that was good enough. And I managed to like scrunch together a number of games that I would probably want to prioritize for, I think, to stream at some point soon once I am done with this, which ostensibly will happen today, me being done with Xenoblade 2 after all this time. Vote for Henry Hatsworth if it's not in by the time we finish Wario Land Shake It. Not too sure on what the pace is of that, but yeah, got like a deal worked out for at least 10 points each week at the moment.
The Japanese version of Bionic Commando.
I don't know. Of course. You just give it away, thanks. A policy of only voting for things that are in voting for at least 6 months. I think I kind of have a policy of only pledging things if they haven't gotten in after at least a month, which is PS2, PS1. Okay, so I remember I had heard of Siphon Filter. It's supposed to be like a sniper game, which I never actually tried. A very brief period where I was just trying to look for like a bunch of different sniper games. I now have a lot more at my disposal, and yet I don't play them because I have way too many things to ostensibly check out. But yeah, I'll probably be voting for Ratchet & Clank soon.
In which school does the events in Bully take place?
Of course. If by, I don't know, guess by next week it's not in. Well, or out of players, I mean, I'll probably end up voting for it. That's the only one that, the only game that ended up showing up in the chase so far from that series, right? I think. Let's see. Look right now and just tempt fate. No. Fucking sneaky. Well, apparently Ratchet and Clank 2 are the ones that, well, here's the game that's in, which I guess makes sense, because I'm pretty sure I saw Ratchet and Clank 1 in my my spreadsheet when I was going over that earlier, but I think I only added stuff onto that that's either hit all of the playlists but hasn't been removed from that channel, or is in submissions, which kind of...
Who is the protagonist in the early Dragon Quest games?
Rick... Eric, I don't know. Rank... Raw... I have never heard this name. But, well, 1 second. Alright. What was I going to say?
Which golfer whose name is written on a Mega Drive title died in 2016?
Okay, I don't know, actually. Arnold Palmer? Isn't that like the name of some kind of alcoholic drink? I don't even know. Erdrick in English, Lotto or Roto in Japan. So, what you're saying is they should have taken Erdrick. And I wouldn't really be able to tell you a whole lot about Dragon Quest anyway, but...
On which console was released Splatoon?
That was surprisingly concise, but yeah. I'm pretty sure that the stuff that's in pledges, but that, I mean, I haven't updated it, or hadn't updated, I should say. I did update it recently, but I hadn't updated my own spreadsheet of chase stuff for consideration in a while, but I did update it recently, and I'm pretty sure that the stuff that's in pledges, but that hasn't actually hit the pledge goal yet, has not yet been added.
What is the name of Resident Evil 3, Nemesis in Japan?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was... Well, Last Escape was gonna be the name that it was gonna have, that it just originally had. It was originally just supposed to be a side game, but now they just decided to put a number on that. And I'm pretty sure they even bring that up in the, like, opening narration for that game. That specific phrase. Okay, I guess I forgot that Ratchet and Clank was in the chase already, but 2 is the one that's up for pledge right now.
From which console does this image come from?
PC 98? I don't know. Interesting, PC engine, that also makes sense. I mean, the way I understand it, those consoles from that line had a lot of games that would have looked like that. And probably, unsurprisingly, not a lot of them actually made it across the ocean. I mean, the console itself sure didn't.
Can be played in the Saturn version only of Castlevania, Symphony of the Night.
I mean, you could argue that it maybe kind of did if you look at the TurboGrafx CD as like a different version of it, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of people wouldn't do that. Oh boy. Okay, let's talk about the PSP version of Symphony of the Night with its inferior voice acting.
Give the color of the 1-up mushroom in the Mario series.
Is there anything else I wanted to maybe discuss and distract myself while I'm in the middle of doing this? I don't know. You only have one attempt. Well, didn't even notice that. I don't heard a lot of hentai games in Japan. I think it also had, I'm pretty sure it also had Police Nuts, because that's the one that,
Is a Pikmin if it has a nose?
I don't know. Didn't know the red ones had a nose. Because in the middle of all the stuff that I was doing for the other giant, or, well, considerably more giant spreadsheet than the one that I made for the chase, which is database of as many adventure games as I can possibly find out about. Yeah, that's the one. Led me to acquire, quote unquote.
What's the name of the bottom side in Dota 2?
The what now? Redirect, I don't know. Imagine anyone having played Dota 2. And I think that's actually kind of an ironic thing to say. Oh, sure. Because isn't Dota 2 actually free? Like, I have the Steam window open right now, I can literally just look. Dota 2. Yeah, it's free. Yet.
To what game does Discover belong?
Tetris, no. Star Tropics. Yeah, that makes sense. Star Tropics, a game that I've heard a lot of mixed things about, but the thing that most people seem to agree on is don't play it blind. Especially not today. But yeah, one of the things that I managed to acquire, quote unquote, as part of my adventure game research was the English patch for Police Notes on the Saturn.
What racing game contains the circuits Red Canyon and White Land?
No idea. I would say I've actually never played F-Zero, but I might have actually played F-Zero very briefly, just like tested out at least a couple times. Certainly wouldn't be able to have told you that that's the game that these names were from, though. Was that optimized hint usage, or is that wishful thinking?
In which game
It's wishful thinking.
drive a shoe?
What? F-Zero, yeah. What game can you drive a shoe? Mario Kart Double Dash or something? Well, I don't have time to... Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to tell you that. Wouldn't have had time to type my other guesses either, so... Presents? The guide to classic graphic adventures, really.
Female member of the Donkey Kong 64 crew.
Knock. Can I just type tiny? Tony, come on. I know how to spell things, Jesus Christ. No hardcore gaming 101.net. Oh, wait a minute. Hardcore gaming 101.net. I totally misread that, excuse me. I learn how to read. I have that book. Hold on, let me take a quick look at this link, because I just realized it's not nearly as suspect as it hit me at the first. The what now? What's being referenced here? Oh. It's FF7, but it did not register as that at first. I am surprised that it did register as that to anyone else, but...
What game does this scene from Undertale refer to?
It refers to it in a very, very clunky and tone-deaf way, but that's what it's supposed to be. Paperback in Rome 2011. I do wonder about this. I'm quite curious to see like what the scope of what this book would actually cover would be. But since it's Bandra's classic...
Is Cranky Kong a playable character?
No idea if that's actually true. No, I guess it's not. What? Are you supposed to... What are the other words? Jet race. That's surely not the same as barrel blast. Oh. What the hell would call it jet race? Where in the world is it called that? I don't know. There's probably an actual answer for that, but...
What is the name of the massive entity of destruction in Final Fantasy X?
I mean... Probably nerds would be willing to debate that one, but... But yeah, I would imagine... Over 300 games from the golden age of the graphic adventure genre, running from 1984 to roughly 2000. Yeah, all of these games that are listed on the back would be... Oh, I don't know if I would have necessarily expect people to.
Which sci-fi action
Hold on.
RPG was developed by BioWare in 2007?
I would probably expect people to know the games that are listed under LucasArts and Sierra. Those are like pretty iconic, but I don't know if I would expect people to know as readily about Spellcasting, Eric the Unready, and Callahan's Cross Time Saloon, even though those would all be covered by my references that I've used as well. Several other popular and not so popular series such as Eric the Unready, Time Quest.
What is the item that Rangers use to catch Pokémon in Pokémon Ranger?
Fuck if I know. Catchy Poke. I don't know. Capture Styler. Never in a million years was I gonna guess that, but also Sork, which is technically, I don't think, well, at least if you restrict yourself to the original, not to the sequels, I don't think it's ever been a graphical adventure. It's always been a purely text adventure.
From which game does this image come from?
The Last Express. The Last Express does seem like an odd choice to include in that. That's this blurb that I'm thinking of, along with Spellcasting, Eric the Unready, and Callahan's Cross Time Saloon, you know. All of the other ones that are in that listing, though, I can definitely see as fairly iconic. How much of this is left? 4 more questions.
Which lizard-like character appears in Mortal Kombat 2?
Actually, people didn't catch on to that one faster since it's in the name. Which reptilian character appears in Mortal Kombat 2? Well, and there's a few games that I'm a bit sure. Probably very few comparatively speaking, but in the chase.
In what kind of place do you save your game in the No More Heroes series?
Seriously. Okay. Whatever. Decent book with some obscure adventure games as well. I have all the Hardware Gaming 101 books, but yeah. Pretty sure that if you look at the Chase database, there's at least a handful of games in there that would be classed as adventure games, like Night in the Woods. And I say like Night in the Woods, but can I actually come up with anything else off the top of my head that would be like straight up just adventure game?
Which game does Phoebe give to Monica and Chandler as a wedding present in the Friends TV series?
I would not have been able to tell you that without the hint. I mean, I was looking at this just a little while ago. Let me see, I can literally just go to the window where I wrote down some stuff. Are any more of these things stuff that I would call adventure games? Probably not. Probably just Night in the Woods, out of the stuff that I noted at least.
Give the name of the Mega Man X PSP remake.
Are you serious? Okay. Okay, I managed to fucking squeeze myself into 3rd place, tied with somebody else right at the last second, because of a complete fluke. Alright, I guess I'll just let this play out for a couple more tracks, and then I don't know what this one is. That's a good start. Kirby's something. I legitimately have no idea what 2 4-letter words would come after that. Yeah. I guess Shenmue is a game that I've technically included in my adventure games listing because of, I guess pretty much for the same reason that I've included Miserna Falls in that. Epic Yarn, okay, I wasn't gonna guess that. Even though it is a game that has some action elements, that's a good way to punctuate that off. God, this is probably an actually terrible position for my keyboard, and I've got it on right now to try and type this out with any kind of speed, but combination of that and the fact that I'm kind of groggy and out of it to start with due to my Bizarro. my very bizarre sleeping tendencies probably don't help my performance in these events. At least listen to whatever's next. That was a very unoptimized speed for that answer. Surprised that I managed to get a record. It's probably just room specific. Okay, I have no idea what this is. Can I get it first from the... Nope, no I can't. Street Fighter Alpha 3? Well, never mind, I guess I can't get it from that. Isn't that... That's the most fitting thing. I guess I'll let it just fade out and then actually close this window. Oh dear. Yeah, of all the stuff that I wrote down, I'm pretty sure just Night in the Woods and Shenmue would be stuff that I would actually class as adventure games, instead of stuff that's actually in the chase. Because I also wrote down something that I realized at the last second that I would probably want to play first and stream first, because I've never actually touched it before, I don't think. Before I played Chrono Cross, if I were to do that, I would probably actually want to do Radical Dreamers first, which is the kind of weird visual novel thing that came out as an interquel between Chrono Trigger and that one. And I believe that I briefly got to the point where every single time that I move my mouth and try to speak, lots of clicking noises come through. That's really annoying. Yeah, I believe I've got to that point already. Good job, myself, but I will also, I guess, bring this back for just a moment. Not Rulers of the Wild Spire, whatever's next. Sure, Bad Bear Drag. There's a bit of a buffer between, to avoid dead silence between now and when I actually figure out which of these tabs. Even this one? No, it's this one. Different window that I'm using with a completely different browser. I forgot about this. It is some troubleshooting that I was doing earlier. But yeah, might be one of the things that I briefly do in the near future. If I do want to go like straight to Chrono Cross as like a new stream game, then I mean, whenever I'm done with this, probably starting next week, because there's no way in hell that I'm not being done with this game after this week. I'll probably end up wanting to actually change how I ration out my time, like I've referenced lots of times but never actually got to do until ostensibly now. Oh, that was just one loop. The version of this song that I found had a couple of loops at least, but before I do dive straight into Chrono Cross, I would at least want to check out the Radical Dreamers thing. But anyhow, I'm getting distracted here. There's a whole bunch of games that I wrote down for, like from Chase stuff that I would want to maybe prioritize for streaming. Mostly stuff that I've never either played at all or just haven't finished. But I'll have to figure out how I go about that in future. For now, I'm gonna go over to the playlist randomizer thingy, which I have currently equipped with the other more extensive playlist, the one that has the submissions as well. And since it is pretty much randomized from scratch on this occasion, I will actually have to, well, just read out the spoiler tracks. It would be the first, I guess 12 tracks, or maybe 13 this time. I don't know if it renders differently because of this other browser window that I'm using, but all the stuff that's at the top that I can just see the name of right away, like Tornado Snowboarding Whiteout, or Tekken 7 Kinder Gym Round 1, or, oh that's loud, I just need to adjust the volume, Rhythm Heaven Fever title theme, or Starship Mario 1, which you can't even tell that it is until the main melody starts up from Mario Galaxy 2, or Stardust Battle from Mario Party 3, which takes about 8 seconds before it actually gets to the part of this track that I would have recognized. The Oot medley from Brawl. For some reason, every time that I hear a remix from Brawl, my first instinct, well, that I can't immediately place as being originally from Brawl. My mind immediately says this is from Ultimate, because I probably heard this in Ultimate, but anyhow. Skull's theme from F-Zero GX. Battle from Metal Gear Solid 2. Which I thought, I must be thinking of 3, that has like different battle themes depending on like the location. Astral Plane 2 Action from X-Men Legends. It's not 2, even though I think there's at least 2 of these. Bultier XX, nothing out of the ordinary. Paul Justice Translogic. Not Logic and Trick at all. Samba the combo from Other 3. Oh boy. Trick has actual voice samples in there. And number 13, which is the last one from the spoiler set, would be this one. Grail Mercenaries from Path of Radiance. Which I guess I can let play for a few seconds, even though Fire Emblem, in pretty much every respect, is very much not my cup of tea. While I get the stopwatch ready here, so I can go ahead and move on to the next set. I should actually start this up as I actually make this visible. I should probably not forget to do that. Oh yeah, this failed attempt from turning this thing right here into a thing. Can I just remove this? And yeah. And I would switch to the other scene to try and verify that it hasn't fucked over the other scene, but one thing at a time. For now I will go ahead and start off this thing with 5 random tracks to be guessed, maybe starting... Hold on, I need to figure out what tab to click on when I do this. Starting now. Oh boy, well... Unlike when I very briefly tested this before, I think you can actually tell right away that this is the submissions one. I'm pretty sure that this is not in yet. Yeah, this is definitely not in yet. This is definitely in submissions currently, I think. But for how much longer? It was doing pretty alright. Where is it actually? Okay, yeah. It's going to be about a third of the way in soon, it seems. As long as I'm over here in submissions, I might as well take a quick look at Wario Land. Oh boy, yeah. Wario Land might be a bit behind my own submission, unfortunately. So unless someone decides to Renesian the point raid, it probably won't be in there. Or won't be like up for those votes quite as quickly. Splatoon 2, I'm pretty sure that's it. Unfortunately, that can't tell apart like the regular tracks from Splatoon 2 nearly as readily as I can from 1, so... That's about all I get, but it's been well over a minute, so I'm just gonna look. This is Splatoon 2 Ebb and Flow. I should probably actually try to remember these. I mean, this is definitely not one of the tracks that would have stood out to me from Splatoon 2, even though I did play that game a fair bit. I don't think I played it quite as much as Splatoon 1, though. Maybe the single-player stuff. Which technically, I guess, Splatoon 1 didn't... Well, I mean, it did have, like, the regular campaign, I guess, but it didn't have something like Auto Expansion, which was just a lot more focused on that. Oh dear. Here's what this is. You can tell very easily just from the weird underwater sounding samples, anyhow. Go to the next one now, which does strike me as something that I've heard before as part of, like, chase practice at least, which would have included only stuff that was in. Unlike the last track, though, I can't tell right away, like, even what game this is. Might be Persona or some shit, I don't know. The rhythm very, very vaguely reminds me of something like that I may have heard from that series, but... Oh. Did I actually manage to hit the nail on the head by complete accident? Because this sounds, now just based on the singer, that this might be Persona 5. Yeah, those freaking violins also make me pretty much confirm that in my head that this is probably Persona 5, but predictively I still can't tell what Persona 5 track this would be because I've never touched that game. But hey, it's been a minute. After I... Jesus Christ, hold on. So with this thing, which... I don't know how that happened. Let's see. It's apparently called Life Will Change, and it's got Chinese characters in parentheses. I'm just gonna assume that that says Life Will Change in Chinese. Okay, there you go. Oh, this video has lyrics. Where did you know it? was I gonna tell you what the name of that song was without looking, let alone what context it would play in? This one, however, is different in that regard. I actually could tell you both of those things. But this is a bit of a trick question, because this could be one of two games. And based on which game you pick, the track name would have to be something else that's specific, but at least it would share a word in the name. And yeah, every time that something that's first-party Nintendo plays, I have to... like, my paranoid instinct kicks in, thinking that maybe someone's gonna get pissy about me playing this on the stream, but I don't think I need to worry about anything too much except Square and... I guess just Mother soundtracks. Oh wait, what happened? Okay, just somehow navigated away from where my stopwatch was, but... at least that didn't cause it to stop, and just in time for me to notice that and verbalize that as well, because it's been a minute. This is in both Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and let me see what the upload actually says. It's marked as Ocarina of Time. Which in this version it would be Sora's Domain, but in Majora's Mask it would be the exact same track, I'm pretty sure, and it would be Sora Hall. There's really quite a few of these examples of these things happening. Oh, and it's already... I would say it's already ending, which it just did, but there's like another 40 seconds of silence left in the video, which is surprising. Well, let's just carry on with this. That was the middle track. Try skip around. Okay, apparently today we're alternating between stuff that I can place easily and stuff that I cannot place as easily. Well, at least when this particular version of the playlist plays, I can just say to myself, I can totally chalk this up to be something that's not in. Clearly that's the only conceivable reason why I would not have heard it, and yet I've only heard about like not even 50% of the Chase playlist, just because it keeps getting bigger. And I haven't actually practiced by myself with any kind of seriousness for like quite a few weeks now. Tempest 2000 T2K? Well, I could buy this being Tempest 2000, but I don't know. I certainly don't recognize it myself, but I'll know in about 2 seconds. Because a minute has passed. This is Tempest 2000 T2K. Yeah, that's exactly right. I don't know, for some reason I usually kind of... I would say ambition, but I'm not even sure if envision is the right word. I just kind of imagine Tempest 2000 track to not be quite as... I would say lighthearted, cheery as this one sounds. I don't even know if that would be the right term to describe this, but... peppy, perhaps, I don't know. T2K was a track that got skipped last week. Oh well. I mean, I don't know if I would have been able to consistently get it, oh boy. It's in about that time. Time for me to get up and shut the window. Unfortunately, it might be. Hold on. This is a 5-minute track, and it's a penultimate one, so I will take this opportunity to mute myself for a few seconds so I can confirm whether I need to do that. Excuse me. Hope it seems to be fine. It must have just been a fluke that I caught a whiff of something weird. Also, do find it kind of weird though that every single time that, like, the jackass that lives below me decides to smoke, send up the freaking bill of smoke right up here to my to where my window is. That only happens while I'm streaming and not when I'm not doing that. At least I'm just like far enough away to not notice. Oh well, whatever. Hold on, let me grab this again so I can grab the stopwatch again, and let's see what the final track would be and will be when I click on this. Oh boy. Is this what it actually sounds like, or is it just pretending? Are you, or are you just pretending? I was actually looking up a Spanish phrase a little while ago that is pretty much the... like those very words expressed in a different way, just to kind of figure out if there were a lot of references to that phrase being said in other contexts, but apparently there weren't. Because usually that phrase doesn't carry very good connotations when it's used, like, are you this thing or are you just pretending? Mega Man 10 Pumpman? Yeah. I guess it's just pretending if that's the case. And at this point I would say something like curse Mega Man 10 for hiding the fact that it's fake retro a little better than Mega Man 9, but I don't know if I have enough investment left in me about anything to do with Mega Man to even say something like that. Now let's see. Yes, this is Mega Man 10 Polluted Pumpman theme, yeah. That is in fact what this is. Oh well. Maybe one day the stream of me, or stream series of me, very cheerily going through the classic Mega Man games and the Legacy Collection will happen. But until then, I mean, even I would say until then, but, and I did just say until then, but as if that means that after playing any of those games I would actually result in me retaining any of these tracks with any kind of clarity, but I'm sure that I don't have any actual assurance that that will happen, especially based on previous experience. But hey, just in time, in just a few more seconds this thing will fade out, so we'll find out what the 6th track that would have played. Well, that would have played next if this were like quote-unquote eligible, and that will play next independently of that. Will be, and it is Super Smash Bros. Bonus game, so just break the targets or board the platforms or whatever. Does board the platforms even exist in any of the Smash games outside of 64? I don't remember. I do vaguely remember that being a thing. At least in 64, but... and I do know they had break the targets in Melee, but I don't remember if they had board the platforms in any of the other games. If that just got completely thrown by the wayside. Just leave it to me to fixate on the stuff in fighting games that has nothing to do with fighting, because I think my whole life I've known, in some form or another, how much I hate competitive games. Perhaps I have also known how much of a tendency I have to mumble, but how much do I really do to consciously subvert that? I don't know that I do anything. At least not when it matters the most. That's weird. I keep thinking that I'm smelling something weird, but I checked just a second ago and it didn't seem like anything weird was going on right outside the window, so I don't know what would be up with that. I'm willing to just chalk it up to doubt at this moment, I guess. If this keeps up, I guess I'll have to check again, but hopefully it just fluke. Like I kind of determined that it was. Oh, this thing has a little outro at the end. Is this the Gilvasana upload, or whatever that is? Well, it doesn't tell me the name, but I just hover it in the embed, but I can actually click on it and find out, and yes, it is the Gilvasana upload. There you go. Or the platforms is the first comment that shows up when I go to this page. And yeah, I guess Smash 64 also had like the racing thing, where it's just like get to the end of this obstacle course as quickly as possible. In the arcade mode, I think. Uncode story mode / arcade mode, whatever you want to call it, really. Which I can't believe I forgot about, but it's just been like so long since I played that. Skill was sound possible for everything, yeah, because his uploads are pretty accurate, yeah. I mean, that pretty much got copied by a certain meme group for a good reason. But let's see, what was I playing before? I was playing Theme of Beautiful Geo from Marvel 3. Which I guess I can play for a few more moments as I actually finally prepare myself to get straight into the final phase of this game, which I will ostensibly be finishing tonight, unless something really ridiculous happens, which I trust will not be the case. Let's see. So as soon as I finish typing this out, and this, and a few more things as well. There we go. I can go ahead and make the switch and show the very big and clearly incredibly significant visual revelation. Let's see, I should probably just do this first though. Actually start up a couple of different things actually. Move these windows over here so that I don't have to worry about not being able to access them in the middle of this, though I probably wouldn't be trying anyway. Input. Hopefully I managed to do this in the brief few seconds that it takes. Yeah, there we go. It takes the switch to turn itself back off after you tap the power button if you don't do anything else in the meanwhile. And oh boy. How about it just gonna look? I didn't even check the song information thing. It's probably gonna mess with stuff too. Oh, there we go. If I very quickly click on this, there we go. Perfect. Completely flawless. Okay. Well, on the screen I should probably just move this down here. That'll work perfectly. I could even like try to somehow rotate it. I don't even know how that would work, honestly. OBS would even let me do that, but hey, check it out. It's a perfectly functional 16:9 display. That's not just the full screen thing with some stuff awkwardly overlaid over it. Would you say overlaid over it or just laid over it? It's one of these... It's these moments that make me question things, but also I need to slightly adjust things. There we go. So that the chat is also ostensibly visible, and probably just also push it all the way to the left, as opposed to having it centered like I had before. But I can kind of make this work because I didn't test the ticker text for the sound at all. I don't even know which of these things would look good, honestly. If I could figure out how, I would probably try to like rotate this thing so that it was vertical. That would probably look like an abomination, but I evidently don't know how to do it on a whim, so I guess I'm just gonna... How does that look if I don't have it selected? I just leave it here on that location and have it more or less centered, you know, big quote-unquote centered. That'll do beautifully. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this display. It's just something that anyone would agree is a work of art. Also, well, a work of art is a phrase that I say just as the Mario Paint music comes on, so you can only see that as some kind of spiritual serendipitous confirmation. So with that having been established, let's actually get into the game. I'm sure that will completely work in perfect harmony with everything else that I've laid out before us here. Go ahead and have to face this out real quick though. Let's go to Torna, the Golden Cone Tree. Let's hope that there hasn't been some kind of freak accident that has caused me to lose my 100 and something hours of data from this game. Which I can't imagine what there would be, but it's clearly something that I have to say out loud. Oh yeah, and the thing that I forgot about is that I no longer have like the perfect combination of windows to cover up the... well, a certain part of the screen that I usually have covered up by stuff. What if I do it like this? Yeah, there we go, that'll work. Let's now talk about the foreground focus that we have right now in this game. Oh yeah, I came over here. I thought I was gonna do a few more things off screen after I left this off last time. couple days ago, I think. Just a couple days ago. I don't even know how to perceive the flow of time anymore, but I didn't end up doing that. Did I even kill 2 of these things? Threats Asper, I feel like I did. I guess I wanted to max out these vanity charts as much as possible before we... like, before all is said and done, I guess. Which means that we could, do a whole lot more of these things. A whole lot more of these very grindy objectives, but you know, which of these characters even needed to kill the snakes? Have we killed enough of the snakes? I guess we can actually, like, we've farmed enough experience that we actually can go and deal with the monsters in the oasis here and not be completely... Oh no, apparently we need to kill 1 more of those snakes, and we didn't manage to do that off screen. We can head in this direction and not be completely paranoid about being steamrolled if we take 2 steps off the stealthy path. But hey, we can destroy one more of these snakes and complete this one objective that was left hanging on the... Now the affinity charge, then I will definitely be satisfied. Hey, somebody else did the double thing. Didn't even have to do it myself. But yeah, I mean, the last thing that happened in the... whatchamacallit, the last thing that happened in the story of this game, I guess, left me pretty unconvinced that anything else could realistically happen without just leading right into the endgame, so... I can only imagine that that's where we're headed. Chromatas level 4, that's got to be the one that... that I should have just unlocked by killing this one snake just now. Well, let's go straight to the one that would have gotten it, which is her, and which was confirmed to get it by the pop-up in the side of the screen just now. Increases damage dealt by 430% when we're low on HP, which seems a bit fused. I always feel kind of weird about affinities stuff, or just upgrades in general that have that as a, I guess, requirement, yeah. Requirement or a condition. It's probably more the word that I was looking for. I thought that it would be a word that started with C at least. Where it's like, you have to be dying to actually be able to pull this off. That seems like a nice deal, right? But no. I mean, ideally I wouldn't actually come to that stage, is what I would think, but... Because there's people who don't agree because of stuff like, you know, Paper Mario Peril runs existing, or just danger runs. Not that that would really translate very well to this game, but... What are we supposed to be doing? We're supposed to... Well, I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to be doing any of these things necessarily for the plot, but... As long as we're out here, we could try to look into this. It's like... Investigate the armor tracks and Planner's Bridge and Torna, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that I caught sight of those things. I was going out of the city... the end of the last, well, after the end of the last stream, I should say, because we did end the previous stream while I was still in the city, and I only did like 10 minutes of off-screen things after that. Okay, you talk to the kid that's like my freaking beast of burden runaway. Doing some stupid experiment with them, and someplace... Is it completely behind us? I guess it must be completely behind us, yes. Someplace along here you can find these tracks to actually follow. To the formality that is the field skill at this point. Are there any field skills at all that we haven't maxed out yet? Armors for sure. I think there's just one that I can think of, and that's freaking the one with Mithra that requires you to max out the community thing to ridiculous levels, but apparently so there's this one. Okay, we need to meet all the characters from the community list to get max level in mineralogy for whatever reason, and yeah. Get 20, we'll get 88 instances of community, which I also assume is the maximum. We still have not figured out how to make exquisite perfume, I don't think, so I guess we can't have level 2 entomology or level 3 mining because we just haven't even gotten that key affinity tier unlocked yet. What about this one? We need to discover 3 more landmarks, which I can only do so much towards. And okay, never mind, I guess we are missing more these field skills than I thought, but still. Well, the conditions for these 2 are still a mystery even. Get more money. It is stuff that I can definitely see as being potentially part of a, I guess, a post-game that you have in this mode. I suppose. But for now, let's see. I guess I will try to complete this one side quest and then see what would be next in terms of where the actual plot wants me to go. It can't be asking for much more in that regard, surely. Also, there's like monkeys here that I guess we need to kill. Shall we kill them on the other way? Well, I guess that answers that question. Could have been coerced into doing something we didn't agree to. That's always a good feeling. Yeah, Jim also seems to be having a bit of a hard time with the pathfinding with this piece of junk in the way. What a surprise. Oh, that's driver combo complete like right away. And yet we didn't actually pull off any of them. You know, we don't have the actual elemental attacks yet. Oh, well. At least we don't actually have to worry about that at all in terms of whether or not it's gonna make a difference in whether we manage to kill the enemy. It's just a luxury. Do we need to just kill all of the goggles that are here, or a specific amount? Probably all of them. And I'm guessing that they will just end up dying, or just end up detecting us no matter which direction we approach from. I mean, they will end up dying too, just not before they do that, ostensibly, unless... I don't know, I would die before they even detect us. That would be like a bit of a tall order even at this point, I would think. See if I can get to level 3 gym before I do any of the other elemental crap that I can do just for the hell of it, you know. So I can at least say that I pulled it off. Ice launch made with a level 3 attack, level 3 special. Just, you know, for added flavor. Like, I'm gonna approach from behind and he's still gonna be able to detect me somehow. That's just the way it works. Because it's the few, well, comparatively few enemies in this game at least that end up operating by Xenoblade X rules where they can detect you by proximity and not by sight. Yeah, I guess we're not doing the full combo this time, or never mind, I guess we are. Got nice launch and I smashed that time. I don't know if having an element associated actually does any kind of a difference when it comes to, I guess, the amount of rewards or anything at all, really. What do you get when you complete a driver combo, but we did it, we killed monkeys, the greatest accomplishment in this game. What happens next? Does that mysterious cliff-top observer monkey play into this? Didn't think goggles were capable of strategic thinking. Well, go after the leader, take them out of the picture, and the goggles will be up a creek without a paddle. Yeah, it clearly will be trivial. I mean, did you see how much trouble we were having with the rest of those guys? You'll be able to reach higher ground from the left-hand side. What do you mean the left-hand side? You do know that these views are completely relative, right? I know, I guess we could go up the left-hand side, or we could do the more sensible thing and just continue to follow along the armor tracks, which is kind of what we were doing in the first place, which only coincidentally led us to cross the monkey's path and cross the path of that thing, which will not remain me to stay directly on top of the trail. Yeah, who needs that? Who needs to go up the high road and deal with the monkey leader when we could actually just go do something else a lot more interesting and intrepid, like rescuing cows. I mean, have you never heard of... Oh, this is where the trucks are going, but yeah. Is that the leader of the monkey? Okay, apparently this trail is gonna lead us not only to where the leader of the monkeys is, or to where the monkey minions are, but also where the leader is, who I guess is gonna be a bit, maybe at least a little bit more complicated to deal with, considering that it's got the unique monster, or at least one of the unique monster tracks playing for this battle. Alright, yeah, this guy's certainly gonna take his time to actually die, it seems. Perhaps a little bit of time. I don't even know if I need to do like combo finishers with Mithra anymore, but you know. I guess we better try to set up elemental combo here. Perhaps set up a few things that a few more element orbs that have not actually shown up yet. I'll just do this for the sake of doing the flashy combo that actually has its own name instead of just being generic. For all the differences it will make. How about we do something like, I don't know, wind element orbs. Sure, we can do that. Start with gravity. We haven't done water yet, have we? Oh Christ. Can we do literally any of these attacks? I'm pressing the buttons, but apparently they just keep on fading out. I can do Aqua 2 in just a moment, and I can do Wind 3, and yeah. I think this might actually be all the element orbs that we can physically bring out with our loadout, with our... Not just with our loadout, but just like literally all the characters that we have available. That's pretty much the highest possible amount right now, which means... What does it mean? It means we should probably, you know, take advantage of the fact that we have them active. And fuck with the enemy as hard as we can. Jesus Christ, how many are there? There's like 8. I think that is actually the highest possible amount, because there's only 8 elements in total. Okay, so... I do want to break as many of these as possible on the first run. Just an all-rounds period, I think. Let's see, there's 2 fire elementals, so we should start with that. I think breaking the water one. What else? Are there multiple thunder elementals or multiple lightning? No. Well, let's see, who has... Are there multiple water elementals? No, I think the only element that we have multiple of right now is... fire, as a matter of fact. So I guess we better just... continue on with that. Which of this is supposed to be the opposite of... Earth? I guess we'll start with Adam here. Doesn't really matter which specific choice we make here, I don't think. And yeah, break the water one with this. And what else shall we do? Perhaps use wind first to try and break the ice one. Hopefully it works out. This time we actually break that one. Oh god. Not even completely sure of that. Some of these characters are going to be able to be available for multiple rounds. Hello. Okay, let's see. What can we break? We can break the icy one with this. Also get some free healing, which I probably won't even need anyway, but... let's break the light one next, or try to. At least weaken it. And... Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm gonna have the meme, even though they... I find it kind of weird that they put a fucking line in the DLC or expansion or whatever you wanna call this that references a meme that they actually took out of the fucking base game. That's a pretty mixed signal to send. Alright, let's attack with Minnoth yet again. Should be enough for full burst, I think. Yeah, there we go. So there should be enough to just completely slaughter the rest of this dude's health bar, I would hope. Yeah, there we go, overkill. Not much overkill in the end though, really. Cool. Yeah, switching the fucking aggro is really gonna make a difference at this point. Oh, that was almost a million.
I would love a long, hot shower right now.
Oh, well, if we can pull it off consistently, I'd like to believe that we're gonna be alright for whatever the final boss is in this mode. We've come all this way, we've killed a litter of the monkeys, I think. That's what that was supposed to be. There's multiple monkey leaders around, which would be surprising to say the least. What are these green things? The green version of the Barioth miniature thing. I don't know what here's Washish. Is that what that thing was called? I think I did hear that name from the kid that gives you this quest, yes. You what? But have a different kind of meme. At least that one's not bound to the base game of this. A contradiction. I don't know if you happen to remember what her name was. Well, I mean, it's not like... the three you were looking for were Yoma, Aji, and then Washish, and we have not found any of them. I don't know if we can... yeah. We can just consider a response like that to be any kind of decisive evidence, but we're not gonna actually consider that important anyway. Oh well. I mean, it's not gonna be like in Vanadium Turkin. That's some kind of weird metal. I wonder how that elemental theme would even relate to anything that this Turkin would do, or that was an actual feature. Oh damn it. I mean, I probably want to know who else in my party even has the ability to inflict break. Just to throw off my own timing that I always try to do with always inflicting break with Laura right before I do it again with that combo. That leads into the switch. Someone actually goes ahead and pulls it off before when I'm supposed to do it, then it does in fact throw off my timing. There you hear some attenuation because somebody leveled up. I think that I did. Oh, I just messed up my own timing, I thought. But before I realized that, no, it doesn't really matter because these things are gonna die quickly enough that anything I do at this point isn't really gonna make a big difference of any kind. Let's bully this guy. Nevertheless, never mind. I was gonna say bully this guy nevertheless by doing a level 4 attack, but apparently at the last possible moment he moved far enough away that I had to move a little bit on here. A little bit closer, which led my blade to just not keep up and completely break the chain, and what let me actually do the level 4. Oh well. And now we've magically teleported the Armu home, so what do we do now, really? Oh, we have to do a new landmark. Well, the tracks in Torna to recapture Yoma the Armu. What do you mean? Oh, okay. I guess that's why they call it the break sand. It's like those parts of ice in the place in the base game of Xenoblade 2 that's totally not Valak Mountain. Where the ice breaks away. Apparently we don't have super strength level 3. God damn it. So we do need to develop it even further if you want to complete all of the green barrels from the quest. Oh, god damn it, yet again. Also need to remember to put this away if I want to... What is this thing? What is that thing? Is that a reach central? Yeah, it is. Well, that's not what I was gonna say at first. I was gonna say, is it a unique monster? But apparently it isn't. Is it gonna be like that unique monster in that you can find relatively early on in Xenoblade 1? But pretty much does exactly the same thing that this thing just did, where it's a big old ant hole that climbs up the... Oh, Jesus Christ, the side of a cliff. And kind of surprises you. And resist break that time. How come it can resist break when it was literally just done recovering from a break? It's a little contradictory. Then of course it gets broken right after I switch and do the attack that would have essentially toppled. Let's see if I can actually manage to build up and actually execute the level 4 this time. I'll do this. If we do cold snap with another character, I wonder if we can actually build it up into a nicer combo in the future. And by the future I mean right now if I manage to... No, never mind. Oh, this thing died, yeah. And apparently we just can... I've been presented with a massive fucking Legion of Vandals here that are just gonna attack at the same time, even though I guess it's not gonna be a big deal considering that just like the weak sauce ones. I do have to wonder where this many of them actually came from though. So I think that maybe some of them may have come out from the like little egg sac kind of structures that are around the area here, but I don't really think there were this many of them. Wait, what? Was that attack completely negated because the original like target for it was killed ahead of time? Let's go ahead and select Laura anymore. She has the actual AoE attacks here that we can use to speed this along. I think. She has an AoE attack. I guess I should just like wait around a little bit so I can wind that one up and just keep on using it. It will clearly make a difference. And I made it now. And there's a fucking Knuber pod, what are we supposed to be... Okay, that thing. Why is that thing aggroed? Why is whatever the hell the other one is also aggroed, what? When the hell did we ever get close enough 20 of these things to aggro them? I mean, whatever, at least we... Maybe that was like an effect that the enemy did. We decided to just crawl up here and be a little shitlord. Yeah, treasure trove that need to check. Do we have level 3 keen eye? We do have level 3 keen eye, so there's another chest like the one that was right outside of Torna, or right outside of the city, whatever it was. Where we need the full lockpicking check to actually be able to open it.
Nature makes a fine ally.
Now, you know, ostensibly one of the last ones that you would be able to open, since you need to open a whole lot more of them just to be able to get level 3 lockpicking, but... Here we are. So I need level 3 super strength, which... did we get any more affinity updates that I just haven't acknowledged yet? The answer is... yes, we did. It's this one thing.
This in the service of His Majesty.
Reached max affinity 10 times, so... how much longer? Not that much longer. Who hasn't reached max affinity yet? Just Minoth and Egeon, and ostensibly they'll get there in due time. We'll go ahead and switch things, yeah, so that Minoth is the main selected blade for Arundel. That might help to speed things along. Shall I skip travel to... it's just back to this opening of the opening. Not the opening, the entrance slash exit of the city, I suppose. What else can I possibly call it?
Catch our breath and move out.
I mean, is there supposed to be multiple sets of tracks? I guess there are, never mind. I don't know which of these sets of tracks I followed before, if... I definitely didn't know. Like, hello. One of them is just right here. That was easy. You must be Yama. For some reason I was able to very quickly and instinctively figure out your name, even though ostensibly all the armors would look alike.
This is becoming
Listen to the sound of my voice.
That one didn't go very far, at least. Okay, I get the feeling that I did go in that direction for the first time. I would not be surprised if that was not the case, because my memory is completely
nature makes a fine ally.
atrocious, but... who's over there? There's a Sleepwalker Mork over there. Actually, no, it must have gone this way before, because this is the one, the trail that leads you to go through this kind of lake where the monkeys were hanging out. Speaking of the monkeys, let me see. Isn't there a quest that was related to them? Is it helping the helper gather materials around Hangnail Crossing in Torna to find the pure stone, which I guess we don't have yet? Go set up the bug catcher Turbotron. Oasis, report back. Okay, that must be the one that required you to kill the monkeys, so that's already been completed, but I need to actually report back to somebody to finalize it. So let's see, this would be the final set of tracks that I have not actually followed yet, I would presume. Unless, of course, I previously managed to lose one of the sets of tracks and then I followed another one thinking that it was the initial one, but it actually managed to switch them up somehow. It's not out of the question, but I guess it is not what happened because the other one is just like lying out here. Hey, Agi. What an enthusiastic reply. This complete silence and lack of acknowledgement. I mean, I can actually relate to that. I would appreciate that being said in earnest.
The suspense is there's a clear structure to this lock.
Slow and steady.
Here we go. HP attack boost and black belt. Well, doesn't really matter what. Doesn't really matter how many more of these chests we open at this point, I guess, given that we've already got all the skills that we got that are relevant to them, but... I mean, we get more money from them, so they tell us to come that much closer to another one of the affinity goals to maybe, possibly, ostensibly be fulfilled before the end of this whole thing, but I'm not even gonna promise anything. So time to report back, I would just think.
I'm something of an expert.
Couple of people in the town that we gotta be able to get something from at this point, having dealt with these issues.
This is becoming addictive.
Well, let's take a nice stroll and just walk all the way over there. Nothing can go wrong after all. We can still continue the trend where we can just jump over most characters at happened to get in the way. Hey, guess what I did? Brought her back safely, and it's all thanks to you. So nosy, you know that. Stop sticking your nose in my business, well. You can do whatever you want, I don't even know what to say. We can celebrate with a fish feast, but who said there's gonna be enough for you? Well, I think we're done here. It does come down to us after all. I mean, are we really the only ones who can make a difference there? I guess according to this very convenient script, that would be a yes, but I might want to try living without thinking like our pal Adam here. So who does that put on our side? Both of them or just one?
But thanks.
Spevan in mascot. She sees herself as a mascot. And this guy as well, that's what I thought.
But thanks.
I wish Tico would stop meddling though. Need 10 more supporters for the next level. I wonder how well that'll, or how easy that will be to pull off at the pace we're going.
Give me a shout next time something happens.
And hey, here they are. They don't seem to do all that great when we try to use them as platforms. They seem to be a little buggy, but perhaps that's meant as a hint, you might say. Now, hold on, before we go to the end, I just remember that's what we were meant to do next, to get another plot scene, I would imagine. What if we try to turn this one in as well? We're supposed to talk to this Snop-on at the shopping ward. It doesn't exactly say where. Oh, over here? Or... oh no, yeah, here we go. Your friends took nasty goggles at a picture. You hear news. Sharing news himself. And not doing something else entirely. Oh, okay. Business is always thriving with the German in charge, isn't that nice? We must drop by at the store sometime. Count me in too, somehow. So what they're saying is they wouldn't, they didn't actually come to see the people who actually do the charitable thing here, but instead that guy. You just here don't trust posers, well. Nobody's a perfect picture of virtue that goes for people and blades. And yeah, it would actually be make a lot of sense to say that, or to hear that coming from someone who's directly linked to Amalthus. Still only get one supporter out of that though, don't we? It's that guy.
That's so sweet.
Getting premium trade kill in the process, so we bolster capitalism some more. That's what the Nopans are about.
A happy conclusion.
Well, what more have you to say after that? Oh, and that's how we get the exquisite perfume recipe, so maybe we can actually complete another one of the field skill things now. Chamber of Commerce come in, clean up repairs, distribution of food. All pitch in, everyone work hard. Market mayhem. Isn't that nice? But who has new stuff to say over here? What about you? Why are you hanging out here and not near the Arbu pen? came out to have a look for herself. She was an alright tis, really. So you guys fighting the other day, well, how did you do that? You've been sneaking out. What do you have to say about that freaking weird sway of yours you always seem to have? As Meadow tries to find his way around. Is that everything? I guess that actually pretty much is everything, isn't it? Related to that couple of quests that I wanted to turn in before we talk to this guy. Hey Fred, we're gonna rest. You're not gonna charge us anything, are you? You owe us your life, so it's only fair.
Hey, Jen. That mask. You don't need it anymore.
Yeah. Since you're a Knight of Torna now, there's no danger of getting in trouble for resonating with a stolen core.
What should we do with that?
Nothing, I think. I think I'll keep wearing it. You went to all the trouble of making it for me.
Yeah. I mean...
Huh?
Someday I'll die, and just like that you'll return to your crystal. Even if you forget everybody, at least you might be able to keep the mask that I made you.
Laura.
But I imagine that day's still a long way off, so don't worry.
Wink.
If I were a praying man, I'd pray this journal finds its way to you. Trusting that it will, I will use these last words to pass down a means of carving the bond between myself and my partner into this flesh. This is how it is done.
He was already thinking of a way to do the weird Resident Evil fusion.
So, I'm officially a Tornan driver now. Okay, let's make some memories.
Wasn't that line also kind of made a big deal out of in the main game flashback stuff?
The star is rising. It seems that the people love him.
And naught but the fruit of the king's whimsy and an obscure woman.
Ah,
Yet if only he were not the driver of the Aegis.
you'd each have your just share of dignity.
Isn't that doubly already given that? I'm pretty sure that, well, maybe we're about to get clarification on this, but it wasn't it Malthus himself who actually pretty much came and gave him the Aegis core for Mithra? He just wanted to be like, yeah, let this guy do my dirty work and also go up against Malthus or whatever. I don't know, I think the whole split between Malthus and Malus is still one of the most confusing plot points in this whole thing.
Questor, is it really true that...
Certainly, I did give life to Malos, but when he acts, its divine will.
The destruction of the world is the will of the divine.
Indeed it is. Malos is the instrument of destruction. Making the architect's will imminent takes many able hands.
Immanent? Well, I mean, speaking of Miles, what's he up to now?
Exactly what they wanted. Become titans. Have a longer life with humans. Huh?
Oh, nothing. I was just remembering the previous time you said that.
I did?
My reply was, how about you? And what do you think you said?
I don't wish for forever. All I want is my life with her. That's plenty.
Ah. Spoken like a true blade. No one can begrudge you that.
I wonder how it was for you.
Well, honestly, I suppose I may well have been just like you, Jim. Still,
Still?
being like this isn't so bad either. After some years, or centuries, you find yourself ready for new relationships. I came to realize that.
New relationships.
I mean, we already know he's gonna die at some point in the future anyway. In spite of the whole DNA fusion dance thing. Oop, the voice acting is over. Ingredients, well. Are you still going around foraging it in the dirt? Well, I mean, you can still do that in here. It's just a different kind of dirt. Yeah, okay. The typical subject for me to wrap my head around. Are we really gonna make a big deal out of this as well? We'll have to make our way to the Torna core. What then? We still have some time. Mithra seems to believe we can take him at his word. His own hubris has allowed us this chance. Citizens are in fear of what may befall them. So, what do we do in response to that? We are probably a Torna Knight now. For a strange gaggle of misfits, I admit, who will carry that burden with you. Well, so what do we do? I mean, I guess we're still operating on the assumption that we've got time. Oh jeez, yeah. Put people's minds at ease until community reaches level 4. Wow. Well, I wonder if there's gonna be any more things that we can take on at the moment. Apparently the answer is yes. Jeez. This might take a bit. Did Pablo mock something up again? Probably not. Well. Alright, we're just gonna pretend we didn't hear that.
This is becoming a
Nature makes a fine ally.
there was anything back here, it's probably long gone. Yep. There's probably more of those drug barrels, which... Can't imagine we will manage to find all of them by the end of this. What if your invention help retypes has been granted the title of knight? If one of you lot's been made a knight, and I'll certainly be designated a Torna master inventor every day now. Well, I mean, it's not an unreasonable comparison to make, I think, if you put that into perspective. Yep, celebration for our collective new Torna Knight with 10% off sale. Some 20% off before change mind. Well, I mean, we still can't actually buy that hat. That is presumably being sold here for what we've done. Alright, Charlotte, what do you want me to do now? Even though I don't think you actually have asked me to do anything before. Any of you had occasion to visit Torgoth recently, I guess so. He left for Torgoth weeks ago. Went to visit his hometown before the Aegis came and destroyed us all, and wouldn't you know, that also got destroyed. His name was Tars. He's in his 40s and a bit of a cautious character. Well, are any other graves marked that were in Torgoth, I wonder? He lives at the far end of Torgoth. I mean, yeah, there were so many people when we went back over there.
I would be no leader if I turned down an opportunity like this.
Well, that's very interesting, but we need to actually take that opportunity up. I mean, we might as well go ahead and wander around here and try to get as many of the... any quests that we haven't accepted yet. Because I do get the feeling we're gonna need every single one of them, considering that apparently it's gonna be just literally do side quests over and over and over again. Until finally they, the community level that we have is maxed out, maybe. I don't know if it actually is required to be maxed out before we can move on to whatever the next step is, but... Constantly going out of my mind with worry about you, Prince, and now this. Boy. I mean, who is this character supposed to be anyhow? I've been on your side since your royal childhood, and you've always been so, shall we say. Well, say what you wanted to say, then. Earlier attack has caused a lot of damage to the capital, and the rubble is still being removed. So we just need to use the heavy lifting blades. Aren't you the Ardanian? Well... I mean, you're, the way that you say things, the cadence of your voice is not nearly as bombastic and ridiculous to mark you as a true Ardanian. Hello, Clemens. Weren't you the guy that was at the front gate? I don't even remember. Should be the driver who could control the power grid of Torna for a long time now. Well, at least we got these people who we can gain community with.
But thanks.
Just by talking to them. We're certainly gonna need that if we're gonna get this done anytime within the next 10 years. Oh jeez, yeah, depending on how long this will take, I actually might not be able to finish the game tonight, especially if I wanna go to sleep before too long for the chase, but I mean, not just for the chase, but just due to the fact that I ended up waking up very early today and I'm very tired already. And we'll see how it goes. And there's another quest to be accepted down here in the south side of the garden. I see plenty of this debris and rubble, but apparently I can't interact with it right now. I'm not exactly the most able-bodied person here. Who needs Elysium? It was idyllic at least up until recently. The forest is so littered with junk that you can't really appreciate its beauty anymore. Like how? I don't think I've seen junk in the forest other than just the crap that you can pick up and use as a material. Time to just get fucking recruited as a
Blind eye to people in need.
garbage person. I mean, we never turn a blind eye to people in need, but we will now that there are no people in need that we can see within earshot. Also, let me see if I go up to the community thing. Are there any more people that I can talk to? Yeah, that I can just talk to them and they will raise the community level. Track that character. We got whoever that is. Dolala at the Speffen Inn and Altas at the storage ward. If we can talk to these people, there we go. We can get more free community, which is certainly something that we can use right now. Let's see if we can remove the rubble. I guess we actually got some stuff here. Playing with mud and clay when it's like a child, so it's not surprised that I wound up as a potter. And this person doesn't actually have anything new to say about the attack or the knighting ceremony even. Is what everybody else seems to be parroting. So what happens to this bunch of rubble now? Oh, it just disappears. Hey Joey, how come you didn't help me with that? Oh, I'm sure we'll have another knighting ceremony and many more ceremonies to come here in the old country of Torna. It's gonna be around for a long while after all. Wink wink. Let's celebrate location with Lucky Vase. Well, smell of Bulufo poo. Well, that's one way to phrase that. Sad to check you have enough vases. Also, set to boost martial ability and appeal to opposite sex. Well, at least you phrased that properly. Well, let's just get this done. Probably the remove the rubble thing is just gonna be like go around the streets and find all of this stuff that is all within the city. So it should be simple enough, methinks. Loyal Knights, you finally earned the right to stand shoulder to shoulder with me. Well, yeah, okay. Can surely summon this guy into the battlefield now. He's not just saying that to be facetious.
I won't lie. It feels good.
And there we go. We just need 7 more supporters to actually be able to level up our community again. So who's this down here? Acerta, the Wild. Oh. I suppose it would make sense to have him as a community supporter too. It seems kind of weird to see him in like the same kind of community or affinity chart that you would have in the older Xenoblade games though, where you actually see a bunch of the different characters. Oh, look at this, Sorel's still crying. Congratulations on your knighthood. You gotta keep up this crying animation being plausible, so... I'll talk to you and then get right back into it. Whoop. I am kinda noticing though that the designated piles of rubble that you are supposed to interact with for the chest are all seem to have the same configuration. I suppose nobody else around here has anything to say, at least. Anything to say that I have not heard already. Except that I thought, yeah. One of the Nopon, I guess, one of the people that we have to talk to increase this even further would be here at the inn. But we'll have to find the room. invade other people's rooms to be able to complete this exchange. Will you be friends with Delilah? Well, wow. I mean, sure, apparently saying yes is all it takes to accomplish something. Apparently some of those people, I guess the ones that have blue question marks, would be the ones that you can receive new quests from. But based on their placement, I guess I would have to actually go back to those regions and find them. Like this guy. Krogane, who would be at the militia garrison in a letter. Or the harbor. I guess we could go back there first. Before we do anything else. Kinda wanna go to one of the bonfires anyway. Well, not in Warwood actually, it would be in the Aletta region here. Oh yeah, so that's where the... There's actually up to 3 quests at least that we can pick up over here. For some reason I wasn't necessarily expecting that, but... We'd have this many at least.
Catch our breath and move out.
Hey Brogan, didn't I talk to you before? Aren't you the guy that steals food? Aren't you the guy that very noisily closes the gate that makes that horrible screeching noise? Oh well.
Aren't we intrepid?
Yeah, it's horrifying resource management, just like in that that Kingdom 2 Crowns game. It's so easy to just get soft-locked into an unwinnable situation. These are the ones who were skilled enough to pass my test, so what happens now? About that. What else do you need? Need one last test to make extra doubly, triply sure frames have what it takes. Well, 10 fusion combos, need to pull off at least that many, or is no go for employment, really? I mean, fusion combos would just be like an actual tandem thing of, yeah, blade and driver combo. You're a blade combo during an active driver combo, or vice versa, whichever works. I mean, so just like pull off level 1 special, whatever possible, and then do the double thing. Everything we've been examined on to date. Actually take the bait. Once team finished 10 fusion combos, were brought back to roly-poly on quick double. Still don't know what there was to make of that, like what they're supposed to be up to.
Happy to assist.
Okay, I guess that's what we're gonna be up to for the next set of stuff that we do as far as fighting. Could be happening over there, but I can't just go off, can I? Worried about causing you extra hassle. Well, this is a lot of fluff. My wife and kids are still back in Gormott, you see. I hear all kinds of troubling news out of the motherland lately. You asked a hard question, friend. Well, I mean... Torgoth is fucking was burned to the ground and everyone there was massacred. So long as my village of Torgoth is well, yeah, about that. Specifically. Callie and Nelly. Well, I get the feeling that I've heard those exact names in tandem with each other before. Like not necessarily as part of this. Callie and Kelly, you said. Oh yeah, those guys. Didn't think that it was as part of this. They were unharmed and awaiting their father to come and get them. Well, what about the mother, though? Did she also survive, or did she get burned up in the...
You scratch our backs, and we'll scratch...
I don't know what they will scratch, but I don't know if I want to go through if that's a deal. Okay, I'm guessing maybe the mother's dead. Let's see what Earth wants. We met a soldier called Magneth by any chance. He's my subordinate, but he's gone AWOL. No ships have left the harbor lately, so I imagine he'll still be in Torna. Maybe he left for the capital. Maybe he just lost his way. Where are we supposed to look for him?
We can take care of it if you want.
Maybe. Maybe not. Let's see what Kalina has to say, just anyone who we haven't talked to before. Here is just so good. Oh, you're the one who looks like a Mortal Kombat character. The idiot in charge of the storehouse was filching snacks on the job. Well, he apparently does it all the time. Now I'll even laugh at me for it. I guess things are different here in Torna. Well, I guess it depends on the situation. I can't see someone trying to raise a big stink for something like that. But oh well. What do we have active right now? Search Torrigot village for any signs of terrorists. But also I suppose we don't really have anything more as far as... Oh, didn't find this thing before. As far as new places we can go and find more side quests to just initiate. Or maybe even just treasure chests, I don't know. I might need to make a slight adjustment to the title of the stream. Things that I just ended up mixing two words together and just ended up expressing something that I would like to do in a slightly different situation. Well, since everyone around here has new things to say, more of that delicious flavor text to lay on us, how can we say no? Well, the capital has been attacked, well, so it has. We had to repel that attack. At least it hasn't fallen into large-scale disorder yet, it's fairly safe here. Hey, but I wanted to mention your wife. The mansion which is your wife. I don't know if that's pretty much, I guess that, yeah, it does have to be pretty much everything that we can get as far as new side quests from the people in town. Or do we stop by the campfire and try to craft some more things? Damn, I'd really have to cut this short, a little lot shorter than expected considering how, oh, you need pure style, yeah, that's right, forget that request. XL magma sauté with 2 barb tomatoes. I can make that, but we don't want to make that right now. We need a new X tail to get a sword strike talisman, and we can kill some X's right around this very bonfire, I'm pretty sure. Still haven't gotten any of that marine fish meat. Can write more books.
Who'd make a good lead? Pretty solid if I say so myself.
And we can make this too.
I think I've done reasonably well.
And multiple instances of it even, and bonito casserole.
Does it suit your tastes?
And plain boiled crab, but we'd also need the marine fish meat for that, so pure stone as well. How about the chat scene that we can experience at this time? What's the plan now? Well, sure the people of Torna are safe. I think we got that covered. The problem is something else apparently. Wasn't that exciting? Well, let's rest. I get the feeling that we're not going to be able to. Oh, we might be able to, never mind. shoot up in level. Because of this nonsense.
Incredible feeling.
I believe I've gained a little skill.
Well, do I want to actually follow up on any of these side quests right now? Because I'm like really starting to zone out. Getting tired a lot faster than I anticipated, but we'll have to go to Gormod for at least a couple of these, so I might as well see if I can look into that. I go off to Gormod, I go off to Targoth, maybe. To the completely wasted village ruins, and then I mute myself for a second so I can do something. Hold on.
Suddenly, it all looks so different. Let's catch our breath and move out.
Alright. Breath catched. Let's move out now. Continue on into the friggin' deathscape that is Torgoth. At least I guess somebody managed to come out here and, you know, rebuild it. Otherwise you could just go through the entire game without having an excuse to rant about music. But no, apparently that's gonna happen every single time a new track plays with this weird kind of classical ambient rock fusion style that a lot of anime shit has. I mean, Xenoblade 1 also had this kind of push for that game, and this one's sure a lot of the same composers. Could this be it? Taurus. Well. So we lied about someone's relative being live to one person, and for the other one we managed to miraculously clear things up, but well, let's see how this one will pan out. Taurus leave something behind that we could take to Charlotte as a keepsake. Shall we grave rob? A little bit. I think she might have known Mother. Well, who even knows? Come on. So what happens now? Search the village for signs of anything Taurus might have left, which is going to be expressed by a very, oh for fuck's sake, very clearly marked position that we can actually follow on to. Is there anything else I needed to do in Torgoth if I manage to get this done? As I begin to lose consciousness by myself, by my own volition. Where are we going anyhow? Oh, right here.
The suspense is killing
Something's
me.
buried down here.
Oh, let me guess. She said that line to... Hold on. Oh, jeez.
You're coming with me, treasure.
No, I forgot what I was gonna say about that line. Never mind. I'd be getting to the point where I'm starting to hallucinate things, and imagine that people or characters did stuff or said stuff that they didn't actually do or say. Nox Promontory, oh Christ. It's written with a glass pen. When this is dried, the hidden colors will show themselves. Nox Promontory may be checking out as well. Do we have a Nox to guide me through the promontory tonight? I guess that's a no.
Aren't we interested?
Where is Nox Promontory though? That name does not ring a bell. How far would I have to go to get to this point? I would have to go all the way over there, so yeah, a little bit far. It's apparently yet another one of these quests that I can initiate by going to the ports once again.
Even on familiar ground, we must stay vigilant.
Nature makes a fine ally.
Maybe it'll be from the guy that's convinced that horrible Armenian cooking is really nostalgic and nice. I get the feeling that I will already receive this exact same text box. That seems weird. Well, who wants to talk to me over here in the bathing group? Who's back here? Does seem to be a new quest. Vent Horizon. That is, as always, a curious name. It's been decided that I will confer him a special envoy from Gormot. Our Danian Titan has been showing signs of decline. It's important that we act now. What are my opinion on the future of other countries? Maybe aboard this flagship and the envoy was to come on the white chair of Gormot. I mean, the last time I was here, in this room, I lectured all of you about... I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to... What was that thing that I was about to say even relate to? So I was sure for a second that I should probably give up. Okay, so it's just passing the bug without delivery. I'm barely able to stay on top of. Oh, there you go. Ostensibly there is no further suspicious beast activity instead of activating like the motorcycle. Why did I just say that? Did I just imagine something that happened? Duh. And said something in relation to it without it having actually happened. Did I just draw a scene from memory or impression and attribute it as something that I had witnessed in the game when no thing actually happened? I think I might have just gotten this weird flashback to the motorcycle fights in the World 3 and the base game, and for some reason I thought that just happened and I was going to comment on it, but
I'm something of an expert.
I don't know how I managed to relate that to whatever the guy said.
This is becoming nature makes a fine ally.
I was kind of half witnessing as the quest was giving to me just a moment ago. How about let me see if I can complete at least one step on any one of these quests, and then what am I supposed to be doing right now? For example, go to Nox Promontory, which is there. Oh, so we have to go up to the scenic place. And I complete at least one of these objectives, at least for any one of these quests, before I see myself with no choice but to surrender and leave myself to unconsciousness.
Aren't we intrepid? Nature makes a fine ally.
I get the feeling that the only real way to have what I intend to actually occur. Hey, drug barrels. It's been a hot minute since we actually managed to complete that. We got a rare sense of justice. Huh? There's no way that we already hit the barrel threshold. That one. What is rare sense of justice again? Has to be the one where it's just like you open up all those barrels and report to Mac, who is in Torna. She can't remember even not on the situation really. It's telling me to do that. Well, we made it to Nox Promontory.
Suspense is killing me.
Buried down here.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Did we hit some kind of milestone with the barrels, or was that actually all of them?
The suspense is killing me.
Oh. Does this mean that the other guy that we came looking for also died horribly? There's all sort of diagrams and annotations. Jarvis came all the way out here to bury this, and then he died. Oh yeah, well I guess we already knew that he died in the village fire thing. Attack. Maybe he buried it, or maybe he came to dig it up. He was worried about there being an Aegis attack on Torna, so maybe he left here to spare his knowledge from destruction. He left a document here, buried under the ground. And I guess didn't necessarily tell anybody about it, except for... Oh my god. Can I at least conjure this up from my memory? How did we know to look here? Was it from checking the grave? Was there some kind of marking there? And how would that have been something we couldn't even figure out on our own? Oh well. Yeah, and I get the feeling that what we're about to do with this thing is gonna do even more wonders for preserving its well-being.
This is becoming nature makes
All things considered.
This is becoming nature makes a fine ally.
I thought that maybe just maybe I saw another point that I could use to follow up on a different side quest over here. Well, I was on my way here, but maybe just being completely wrong. I get the feeling that I was just completely wrong. I also get the feeling that the state that I'm in right now is also not gonna help me at all when it comes to my slurred mumbling. Yeah, thought that maybe these guys were gonna be findable. Are they gonna be in the port? Hidden hunting camp. Well, we can probably teleport to wherever it is that we have to meet up with them.
Even on familiar ground.
They are right there. And they are not moving from this camp, except when we show up, of course. Or says that somebody left here in a hurry. Why would that have been? Some kind of extenuating circumstance. Can we excavate now? We can excavate now, yeah. Now that we finally have the excavation skill, which I still don't know why Madoff the one who would have it while mining. Didn't really seem to fit in with his already kind of a bizarre and somewhat unnecessary sense of instrumentation. Oh, I really lost the tracks, didn't I? Hold on. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to follow the tracks in my current state, but we'll at least give it a try. And then they went this way, and then they went that way.
Aren't we intrepid?
They left clearer tracks along the sandbank area because he's muddy.
This is becoming addictive.
To the sound of my voice.
Excuse me, my mind's kind of taking a break, as it is want to do now. Hey, Lighter, can we give you any more food? As long as we're in the area. White hot egg curry or a spicy scorpion cookie? Well, we have both of these. Might as well just complete this. You know, while we're in the area. And I thought it was the end for me, with my carrier blade. It keeps on patronizing me. Not sure where you put all that, those two dishes. That always has a nice ring to it. I mean, what is this place actually called? Did we know? I mean, we could have ostensibly completed that quite a long while ago, but nah. A little grindy as for us getting the optimal requirements. But we'll remember her failure forever. Shame on her blade by collapsing from lack of spicy food. I mean, will this count as a quest completion moment, perhaps? Or not? Can we continue on with tracking, or is that, for all intents and purposes, the end? But it's not the end, no.
is becoming addictive.
I know the drill.
Oh dear, I appear to have lost track of things, if you'll pardon the pun. Appear to be losing track of a lot of things now that my... Well, pretty much everything is kicking in, as far as taking away all my motor skills and comprehension skills. I hate lighters here. There's a fine Harrigan at least. What do you have to say to me this time? About the big tree. He's a builder, my dad. Destroy the way tree. Oh. Yeah, that name does in fact carry over. My dad's name is Waiton. I see what you did there. Even though that doesn't really translate well into trying to figure out why the way tree was named that in the future. Oh, Christ. Sure, on top of that big roots, because I'm pretty sure we can actually, well, I guess we shall try to follow these two into wherever they go next. I thought that it was going to be fine if we just complete the food requirement, but I guess we're just forgetting about those tracks for now. I don't think I'm in a condition to actually be able to follow that up. So what do we do next? Go up to the hill overlooking the serene springs out in Gormod. What if I teleport there? Should be able to. So would that be where I am now, or perhaps
I'm something of an expert.
a little bit farther up? I guess the answer is a little bit farther up. Is this actually where I was supposed to come, or
This is becoming
Nature makes a fine owl.
is this some futility that I'm dealing with here? Let's see. Go there. Okay. It's not actually the place where the camp is. It's like I've been bamboozled. Well. Surely if I fall here just like so, it still won't be enough to, yeah. Actually make me meet my demise. But if I head up here, perhaps with some creative ramp climbing and just being so overpowered and high level from all the enemies that they will just leave me alone. Alright, Rabbit, yeah, please do not get distracted. Please bring it. Can we at least converse here and see what happened? Did you get injured somewhere? See this thing? I finally whooped the monster's butt. Well, what exactly had you been doing before? Skillfully avoiding them. Well, I can certainly relate to that sentiment, not just from stuff you can do in this game, but just from my childhood playing JRPGs. I might have just tripped and fallen onto your weapon. That Lasham Cove, yes. Is doesn't really appear tiny, I mean... Is it like that Father Ted joke where these are small but the ones out there are far away? I suppose finally we managed to gain at least one more point of this.
Thank you.
The one more point of this or a couple, because we technically got the driver and the blade.
Thanks.
To become supporters. Is that a full-fledged driver yet? But we'll get there. And man, if we manage to get four more, that would actually be somewhat of a tall order until we at least get level 3, but I don't know if I have enough battery left in me for even that.
There. That should do it.
Now hold on a moment, wasn't there somebody that needed to consume one of the... Okay, so he's the one who needs this. Things which we should have now.
Ooh, someone's got good taste. This smell has got my creative juices flowing.
So that's all that was needed for the entomology reward, but can we put that to the test here? Clearly not, since, you know,
I'm something of an expert.
probably not going to be triggering entomology for gathering wood. Given that there are dedicated spots to gather bugs as well.
Ah, the wisdom of age.
And now we need to collect more stuff, and you know it. Attack, finishers, he needs to complete a finisher. And this Imba Lizard, 3 of them in fact. This actually could be useful. There's damage dealt by a certain amount when party HP is 90% or higher. So if you just got to... know people who are good at not dying. Seems like a better effect to aim for than is 30% or lower, which is what's usually the thing you're saddled with when you got conditional health related effects. Well, I don't know if I will be able to collect 50 things now. Can I at least collect one thing? I think it might be time to pull the plug. Just gonna have to be this way, unfortunately. But I just do it like this anyhow, since these guys don't care that I'm here. I guess they don't care that I'm here now. My level right now, it's like 49 or something, yeah, almost level 50. Maybe that's why.
Time crept up on us, it seems.
There's something quite magical about traveling beneath the stars. This is becoming addictive.
Obviously, so let's just taking a look over here so I can maybe see what's going on, but hello.
The ether bends as I will it.
Can't remember when, but I guess we did equip all of the things, or not even equip, just unlock the things necessary to get
Aren't we intrepid?
best rewards here. Okay, well, main. We need some kind of X drop part to create another talisman, or a couple of talismans, I thought. But oh well. Wait, where are we right now? What was I doing 2 seconds ago? Okay, I think that's actually in and of itself the cue for me, the indication that I can tell what's happening in front of my eyes. When said thing is actually obscured for my vision moments later. That should probably, well, not even because of everything that happens in the game, but just because of my own. I don't know. I was about to say the word disturbances, but I don't know if I would be applied to me being unable to remember something that I did 2 seconds ago. I was about to phrase that very differently, I don't know why. Perhaps that's a bit of a tie-in with something I've done before, but not a very fraudulent, I'll say that word. No idea if I get it long enough. I think I have. I get the feeling that I just fell from another high position that I had to kind of work my way through. It's too... Well, maybe not work my way through, just like be high enough level to not piss off the Turkins. But Turkins and whatever else was up there, but now that that's no longer a factor. And I managed to complete at least another one of those missions. I think it's time to build up, unfortunately. I'm just kind of trudging along with kind of a very hard time keeping the eyes open, so things I'll actually have to finish this up between tomorrow, as a matter of fact. I'm gonna retitle this whole thing Psych between tomorrow and possibly, maybe not Friday, but maybe Saturday, considering that's something that usually takes place on Saturday. For me, will not be happening, but it may be replaced with something else, I don't know. I'll actually have to try to do what I was kind of wanting to do today in and of itself, and better start things maybe a little bit earlier tomorrow, but we'll see. Anyway, I have to try to expedite this anyhow so I can actually slink off to bed, perhaps. And I will begin doing that by restarting this music and trying to do things as expeditiously as possible, because the more I continue to talk at this time, the more I am liable to say something ridiculous, so I will say something simple, such as you'll take it easy, etc, etc, and this was a bizarre stream that ended up being very short because of this circumstance, which I ended up doing something like this in a while, thankfully. And hopefully I can avoid doing something like this in the future as well. But I shall be back tomorrow by all accounts. I can't really think of any particular reason why that wouldn't be the case, given the circumstances. Hopefully starting a little bit earlier and hopefully actually pulling off being able to do more things in the game, as opposed to the thing that I ended up doing tonight. But oh well. But until that happens, I will just say, well, apparently not in time for this to not go do something else. Oh well. This song to just link up into something else at least, but yeah. It was a very sleepiness thing, because I don't really have anything else to add to that, and that's literally what I just said. I should probably just hurry this up as much as possible, so not really much more to say except to say what I usually do say, which is you'll take it easy. I thank everybody for coming like always. Thanks for chatting, always great whenever people chat, and before this flourishes into something more that I can't anticipate, because this is still very much not an OST that I am familiar with, I will just say that I will see you later.